Alright, so I'm sure you guys are wondering, what is the best RELLCoin shop bloodline to buy? What bloodline should I buy? Well, in this video, you're about to find out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get right to the video, guys. Alright, so as you guys can see, it is just a different type of tier list. It's going to be based on whether you should buy it or not. Yang Naramaki, obviously, and only for drip. It's just a skin of Naramaki. There's nothing really that special about it because, like I said, it is just a skin. Now, you can actually spin Naramaki, but if you guys actually do want to equip this from, just without having to have a bloodline bag, this may be a little bit better, just because you don't need a bloodline bag to actually equip it from your bloodline slots. This goes for all the skins and all the bloodlines here, by the way. Eastwood Karashi and Obvious, get it if you can. It has really, really good combos overall. I would just recommend staying away from the mode. The mode of it is kind of trash, all things considered, but the first and third ability of Eastwood are actually quite good for combos, and if you actually, it's good, especially for the RELLCoin shop, because you don't need a bloodline bag. Shindai Akuma is going to be the first must buy. If you guys haven't spun this or got it from dungeons yet, this is one of the first bloodlines that I recommend that you should get. Not only is it just a pretty good average overall bloodline, the stun of Bankai is also insanely powerful. Arahaki Jokai is going to be a not worth it at all. This may make some people mad, but I think Arahaki Jokai is honestly pretty trash now. This is not worth your RELLCoins whatsoever. I would recommend just avoiding this at all costs. Now, Tengoku is going to be another one. It's actually going to be an if you need it. Now, if you need it tier is going to be the tier that if you actually need the bloodline and you don't have anything else to spend your RELLCoins on, then you should get this. Tengoku overall is a pretty good damage bloodline. There's just other bloodlines that also do damage while also doing other stuff. So Tengoku is just a very solid if you need it bloodline. By the way, I heard if you like the video right now, you get 60 million times luck getting all of the RELLCoins and all of the best RELLCoin shop bloodlines in the world. The only way to know is to hit that like button, subscribe. Rengoku is going to be above Bankai on the must buy tier. Now, I do recommend that if you're going to get Rengoku, I would be wary of actually spending your RELLCoins because the Rengoku is mainly for the mode. Even though the other abilities of Rengoku are usable, like the first and second, they also are quite good. You may be better off getting a bloodline that is better overall than Rengoku, but Rengoku mode is insanely powerful and it does have a good first and second ability. Now, Sengoku is going to be another, it's like borderline not worth it at all, or bottom of if you need it. I'll put it at the bottom of if you need it. I'll give it some credit. Sengoku counter is really, really good. It is okay overall as the bloodline. Like, it definitely falls short in a lot of different aspects, but it is okay overall as the bloodline. It does have the really good mode as well, so it'll be if you need it. Now, Rashiki is going to be another get it if you can. Now, this is going to be at the top of get it if you can. Rashiki's not overly powerful. It's not so broken, but it definitely is an extremely good bloodline to have because it has a really good counter, it has really good combo extender, good block breaks, in a really good mode. So it is a good overall bloodline, and I feel like it's a very solid get it if you can. Now, Wren is going to be at the top of if you need it. Now, this one may make some people mad as well, but Wren is actually it's one of those bloodlines that comes in and out of the meta, and right now it's just kind of really far out of the meta. I do recommend that you guys probably try to avoid buying Wren because not only does it have two other skins that just look straight up better if you actually do want to get Wren, but there's other bloodlines that do the same exact thing but better now. Dark Jokai and Obvious only for drip. It goes for the same exact thing as Yang Naramaki. It's a skin, but you could equip it for your bloodline slots, so if you don't want to spin for light Jokai, then this may be the thing for you. Menzo's gonna be at the bottom of not worth it at all. This should just be a spinnable bloodline. This bloodline's trash. Rogue Games, come on, man. Now, Diva Gura and Diva Sen. Now, this one, I'm going to be honest when I say this. Diva Sen and Diva Gura are the exact same price, but one looks a ton better than the other one. Now, I don't want to rank them in the same place on this list just because of how good one looks compared to another one. So, Diva Sen is going to be at the top of only for drip. So, if you guys like red, go for Diva Sen. But Gura Rengoku is going to be in the must-buy tier. Now, this bloodline is actually an extremely good bloodline now. I actually really, really like Gura Rengoku. I actually like it so much to the point where I was considering getting Gura and GPO because it has the same type of abilities. This bloodline is insanely fun. I do think it is an insanely fun bloodline overall. I think that this bloodline is also an extremely good bloodline as well because it does have the stun. It has a good block break. It has, it has everything pretty much you would ever need in a bloodline. So I think it's a very solid must buy. I'm actually gonna put it at the top. No, I'm gonna put it below because it's actually more expensive. Now, Forge Sengoku. This is when we start getting into the bloodlines that you could get from different bosses. I'm gonna put this at the top of if you need it, and I'm also gonna get Shindai Ren Yang. Okay, never mind. So Forge Sen is gonna be the top of if you need it, just because Forge Sen you could get from a boss, and it also the skin. Okay, I'll move it up to the only for drip tier, mainly because that it's just kind of like a drip thing, or if you need to actually equip it from your bloodline slots. Now Shindai Ren Yang, I'm actually gonna be putting this in the get it if you can tier at the very top. Now the only reason why it's not must buy is because first of all, a new skin release called Shindai Ramen, a lot of people have that, and second of all, the boss actually drops it. So it's going to be a get it if you can, just because the boss drops it. So if you can't get it from the boss, just get it. Sriracha Gold, not worth it at all, not even for drip. This is ugly. It's an ugly skin. If you Sriracha Gold lovers, you should be ashamed. Now Satori Ren's going to be another if you need it at the very bottom. Satori Ren does do a lot of damage now, and I do think Satori Ren is a very okay bloodline. I'm actually going to be putting it above Sengoku. But I still feel like Satori Ren definitely has its faults and all that stuff, so it's definitely going to be if you need it. Ryan Guinan is going to be another if you need it. I'm actually going to be putting it at the top of if you need it. Ryan Guinan got hit with some major nerfs. Mainly the second ability was absolutely dumpstered with no compensation to the other moves whatsoever. So the bloodline is kind of trashed now, which is actually very sad because it was one of my favorite bloodlines in the game. All my favorite bloodlines always gets nerfed. That's just how it is, I guess. But when it comes to Ryan Guinan, since it was majorly nerfed, it still is an okay bloodline, but it definitely isn't overpowered or anything. So it's going to be an if you need it. Vormaki Gold, an obvious only for drip. It goes for the same exact thing as all the other skins. And I'll probably say that from now on with the skins, so I just don't take 10 years. Now, Dio Senko is going to be another if you need it. Now, Dio Senko is going to be if you need it because it's people mainly use this for the mode. Now, the abilities of it are also very usable, but when you're actually spending RELLCoins and stuff, you kind of want to get something that you either already don't have. Like, you might already have Dio. And also, the dungeon rarity was reduced by a lot. So it's a lot easier to get bloodlines from dungeons now, and it isn't overly powerful to the point where it needs to be a get it if you need it or must buy. Inferno Karashi, dude, this skin's not good, but I will put it at the bottom only for drip because some people like the black flames more than the red flames. Jotaro Shizen, obvious only for drip at the very, I'll put it above Inferno. I do think Jotaro Shizen overall is kind of just an only for drip type of thing. I'm actually going to be moving this down to if you need it, by the way. It just makes more sense there, and so does actually Diva Sen. I'm actually going to be moving this tier only for drip. That actually makes more sense. So I don't know why I'm saying, oh, if you move it down, move it up. Cobra, an obvious only for drip. One of the best looking bloodline skins in the game, but the bloodline itself is kind of trash, and Cobra is also a spinnable bloodline. Now, Van Helsing is going to be get it if you can at the very bottom of get it if you can. Actually, I'll put it above, I'll put it above Eastwood. Van Helsing is one of those bloodlines that is held back by the stun global cooldowns. The third move has a global cooldown that it just shouldn't have, in my opinion. It should just be removed. It makes no sense whatsoever. The other moves, their global cooldowns make sense, but the third one kind of doesn't, and Van Helsing overall is a very, I love Van Helsing. Van Helsing is by far one of my favorite bloodlines in the game. It's very fun to use, unlike the movie, which, you know, it's Morbin time, but I do think it is held back by the global cooldowns, which is why it's not higher up in the list. Kamaki, another only for drip, the exact same as Boramaki. Now, Minakaze is one of those that I do think that it's going to be if you need it at the very bottom, just because the only way to get Minakaze is either through the RELLCoin shop or dungeons. So, I'll put this in if you need it, probably actually above Satori Ren, below Tengoku, because Minakaze third is actually usable, but the other boons of Minakaze are still kind of trash. Now, Web is going to be another if you need it one. Now, I'm actually putting Web probably actually near the top of if you need it, probably above Dio Senko, because Web is a really good EKG, but there's other EKGs you could just spin for instead of Web. Like, you can get bruised from spinning all that stuff, so Web is kind of held back by that, but it still is a really good EKG. Ryuji Kenichi is going to be another if you need it one. I'm actually putting Ryuji probably, I'll put it below Dio Senko and above Ryan Gaiden. Now, Ryuji Kenichi still is a pretty good bloodline, but obviously the mode did get majorly nerfed. I'm actually moving it down because of that, and overall it's just really not that great of a bloodline anymore, but if you need it, then get it. Now, the two Ryan skins, obviously only for drip. I actually am putting Azure at the very top because I do think it's the best looking skin in the game. Totally no bias whatsoever, but yeah, they're just skin. Red Shiki Gold, literally just a more expensive version of Red Shiki, and I'm actually be putting this is going to be not worth it at all. The normal Red Shiki is literally in the RELLCoin shop, and this looks significantly worse than the normal Red Shiki in my opinion. And speaking of that, Red Shiki Ruby was added recently. I will be putting this in the only for drip because I actually do like the red effect on it. I do think it looks quite nice, so I will be putting it in only for drip. Raikachisen is going to be another not worth it at all one. Raikachisen, it kind of just followed behind. There's nothing it really does that well besides the C-Spec doing a lot of damage, and there's a ton of things in the game now that just do a ton of damage to things. So Raikachisen is literally just not worth it at all anymore. Shindai Akuma. Now this one I'm actually gonna be putting into must buy. But the reason why I'm not gonna rank it higher than these, dude, okay, I'm gonna be putting Gura down here just because it's a boss drop. It makes no sense to be there because, you know, as I said, it is a boss drop. But Shindai Akuma is gonna be a definite must buy one just because Shindai Akuma is obviously a really good bloodline overall. It's by far one of the single best bloodlines in the game right now, and I do think Shindai Akuma is a definite must buy. Vengeance is gonna be another I'm not all right. The people that hate Vengeance is still a good bloodline, man. I get that Vengeance has slow combos. It doesn't really do that much damage, but I don't know why this is. Whenever I use Vengeance, I have a significantly easier time in PvP than when I'm not using Vengeance. You can call me a noob or whatever, that's fine. But I swear, when I use Vengeance, PvP is actually so much easier just because of the abilities. They're so easy to use. The combos are easy. It has iframes. It's just overall a really easy bloodline to use. But it isn't that great, which is why it's gonna be at the bottom. By the way, guys, what are the bloodlines that you have bought from the RELLCoin shop? I'm actually really interested to find out what bloodlines people have bought, what bloodlines people haven't bought. Free return comments below. Sun Knight, obviously, and only for drip, and this is actually going to go to literally to the bottom. All this changes is the mode. Nothing else changes besides that. It's a very, 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 you know, bad skin other than the mode. The mode is actually quite cool. Now, Strange, obviously, top of must buy. Strange is still the best bloodline in the game. It has super powerful damage. It has really, really good stuns. It's just a really good bloodline overall. By far one of the single best modes in the game. And I do think Strange is still a must-buy bloodline. Whenever you see Strange at the RELLCoin shop, I would recommend just taking that right now. Because I feel like even if they nerf the mode a little bit, the bloodline's still going to be good. You're not going to go wrong by getting Strange. So it's a definite must-buy bloodline. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, and post this, guys. Bye-bye.